Hello, internets.
Yo,
How's it going?
we're on the Twitch.
We're both back this week.
Yeah.
It was lonely last week.
Did you do it by yourself?
Yeah.
Oh.
So what I did, I brought my PlayStation up here and I played Miles Morales while I talked about comics.
Oh, yeah. I think I watched a little bit of that.
Yeah.
I almost did go live on my own Twitch. That would have not helped.
We'd be double live.
Yeah, but live.
Inception.
I wonder if you can do that. Or if it probably just boot you.
Do a live feed inside of a live feed inside of a live feed inside of a live feed.
And everybody be like, what's happening? You know what's happening. We're putting comics in your brain. Because it's new comic book day.
It is new comic book day.
It is Wednesday. Yeah. Travel has me all messed up. That'll pop up in a second. There it is. Now we've got a button. Cool.
Yeah, so we just finished recording our FOC video.
Yep.
We did something new this week. We're going to have our first reel going out.
Yep. Sarah said she was up there messing with it right now. So
Yeah, so that'll be coming out tomorrow, along with the FOC, the full FOC video on YouTube.
Yep.
We were going to go live, but we ran out of time.
Yeah. Well, that's something we'll work on next week.
Yeah.
At least we got the other parts going. So
Yeah.
that's good.
So, what did you read this week?
So I'm trying to play catch up because last week I was on the road to Detroit. So I've got Spider-Man 76.
I read that. We can talk about that one for sure. I read it.
Yeah, and then High Republic 10.
I have not read that one yet.
Yeah, so I may spoil a few things for you, but it's kind of a filler issue overall, I think.
Cool.
But I can kind of fill you in on the novel,
Okay.
which will kind of get you to this point anyway.
Okay. How's it going, Be Nasty? Good
yeah.
to see you.
What's up? And then I was reading Trial of Shadows 1, which also
Okay.
stops after one of the novels.
Right.
Picks up right after Loden Greatstorm dies. Spoiler alert. They didn't really show much in the comic books, so unless you're reading the books, you don't really even know who the guy is.
Cool.
But then Amazon called me and,
It happens. It's
Yeah.
been kind of a hectic day.
yeah, it's been a busy Wednesday. I feel like all three of because I wasn't here yesterday or Monday, so like my Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays are like, they're all trying to happen right now. It's been crazy.
One Wednesday.
Yeah, it's a half weekday.
Hump day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you've read the novel. I haven't been reading the novels. I've just been reading the High Republic comics.
Yeah.
I enjoy them still. I mean, I don't think that takes away from it not having read it, but
Now, the newest novel that just came out, the Tempest Runner, I don't even know. I think it has a book. But the audio version, which is what I've been doing, it was a full cast doing it. So
That's cool.
It was pretty nice. I liked that. It kind of made it go faster, and but it was pretty good. It was all about Lorna D, which was pretty cool. You
Cool.
got to see a little bit of insights into kind of older Nihil things, kind of her life, a little bit more of Panatha. So it was pretty good. I liked it overall.
so what I've had the chance to read today is Trial of Magneto number 3,
Yep.
Thor 18, and King Shark number 2.
Yep.
But there's a ton of books that I am reading that came out this week. I just was
Haven't had a
not
chance.
got to them.
I can see that from your list there.
Yeah, we've got Ma number 2, Sweet Paprika, Tales from Harrow County, Red Sonja, Red Black and Black, White and Red, Shazam number 4, Betty Page, Eat the Rich.
It's a busy comic day.
Yeah. Yes, a couple of my DC books got pushed to next week, but
Well, it didn't help that all the Diamond books for everybody got pushed back a day, so you had to let one less day to read things.
yeah, that's part of why I hadn't picked anything up because I think
I think our Diamond stuff just got here
yeah,
like an hour ago.
yeah. So it is nice.
Some of it's here for Gunslinger Spawn. Some of Gunslinger number 1 is here. Some of it's getting delayed. I'm not sure on my warehouse order, but I know my local store order got here today. So it's weird. I don't know what's up with it.
That is one thing that's been nice about the
Because that's one of the ones I'm going to read this week.
the other two publishers is DC. We usually get like a week ahead.
DC's usually it's here Thursday, sometimes Friday,
And
for
it comes
next
out the
week.
following Tuesday.
Yeah, And
then
Penguin is
I think it's been coming earlier too.
the big order's been coming earlier, and I think the other one's usually here Monday.
Okay.
So, but it's still earlier. It's at least a whole day earlier than Diamond.
Right. I mean, you would think you would want your stuff there
Yeah.
before the street date, not on the street
I think
date.
they're used to having their stuff come in on Mondays because most of your novels are a Tuesday launch date.
Yeah.
So they're kind of used to that already. Yeah. There's also a big paper shortage just in general. So it's just hopefully we still keep getting comic books and it's not all going to be coming to a complete stop soon. So,
Yeah.
I know Boom just announced something about not everything being guaranteed anymore, which is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly when that's going to pick up. I would think instead of just saying not everything's going to be guaranteed, you just push dates back until paper's better. I mean, I don't really know what else.
That's what I do. I would do. I wouldn't want to. I mean, or at least say we're gonna guarantee that you'll get it eventually.
Yeah.
You know, we'll fill as many as we can now, and we'll complete your order later.
Yeah. I mean, if it's not being, you can't help what printing is happening. I mean, so.
Right.
But hopefully it doesn't all come to a complete stop because that would stink.
So I guess I will go ahead and get us started off here.
Yep.
With King Shark.
Yep. I haven't read this one yet, so.
This is number 2 of 6. It was good.
This is still basically what, Mortal Kombat, right?
Basically, and you get to see some of the fights,
Okay.
Which that was pretty cool. The main thing in this book is with Defiler. Was that her name?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like trying to. The real conflict right now is in her own head as to whether she's going to try and help the human representative in the games or the Nawe.
Okay.
Because she's still kind of friends with King Shark, but
Yeah.
we really want the Man King to win so that humans stay the dominant species.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
'Cause whoever wins, that species gets to be the dominant species in the world until the next games.
Okay.
So, it was okay. There not much happened in it. He lost one fight to giant amoeba.
Okay.
It was weird, but then he bit the not hot girl, but this hot half bird lady in half in the next game.
Okay.
So that was cool.
So she's dead.
She's dead.
Yeah.
Apparently, he does not like it when people sing Baby Shark around him.
Okay.
It's one of his.
That's
kind
awesome
of sets
that
him off.
They put that in.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So yeah, it was okay.
He's like, baby.
That's one of the reasons. Like, I give a book like this a little bit more slack with being just okay because it's only a 6-issue run.
Yeah.
You know, if this was an ongoing, I'd probably give it one more issue and before dropping it. But only being 6 issues is I can invest 6 comics into a story.
Yeah, and with the fact they probably could have done it all in 3 issues, there's going to be a little bit of spread, a little bit of filler stuff in there anyway.
It's like reading an episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, there's a lot of power up. It's the 3 issues of power up.
So yeah, you want to do Star Wars?
Yeah, so kind of go into Star Wars. So, like I said, coming out of the Out of Shadows novel, and then the newest one, which is the Tempest Runner. Tempest Runner. So coming out of Shadows, all the Nihil are on the run, and we kind of see that at the end of issue 9 of the comic book, where we see Keeve Trennis going undercover. She's going to go try to find what's going on. Kind of jumps a little bit there. If you're not into the novels, you kind of really don't even know what's going on there. So we see her and Tarek. I think it's Tarek, maybe not Sarah.
I don't remember which one it is.
It's one of the Rets.
It's one of the twins.
Yeah, one of the twins is with her undercover. But we see all about Lorna D. She is, her ships get captured. They think she's the Eye. They have no idea about Marchion Ro, who is actually the Eye. And they think they've killed her in this novel. Then she goes through this whole time of kind of basically hiding out as a prisoner. Then eventually she comes back to finding out coming back to being a Nihil and being proud of who she is and Lorna D, and she's not going to run from her past anymore. She kind of goes through a little bit of part where you think she's going to be maybe somewhat good, like she kind of has that in her, and then she goes all out bad again. So it's kind of crazy there. But we see her show up here in this comic as well, and kind of takes Kiev and whichever twin is there with her by surprise as they go in here to infiltrate the Nihil. It's good. I like it. Overall, the whole universe that they've been creating with these guys, I've enjoyed. So I'm excited about High Republic. If you're not reading it, it's only at issue 10. Pick up what you can. Find a trade paperback. We've got exclusives for almost every issue. It's really, really good.
I think we have exclusives for every issue.
Everything but one.
Right.
Yeah. Everything but one. So
there was.
We tried to go back and do one, and they were like, "No." I'm like, "Oh, come on now."
Yeah.
So, but it's been a really good book. I've liked the character development. Now we've gotten past a lot of the character development, so we're actually getting into story now.
Yeah, I like that.
The Drangir are kind of gone, so we're getting more into the Nihil part of everything. So,
and I would say it started kind of slow, but now that it's going, I feel like it's really going. I kind of really like Kiev as a character.
Yeah,
I think she's cool.
Yeah, they don't use her really at all in the novels. She's mentioned here and there.
She's like a comic character.
But she is the comic character. Her, and then even like Avar and the twins, like you see them talked about here and there in the books.
I think the whole concept of the twins is really cool.
Yeah,
how they basically share a psyche.
Yeah,
yeah, I think that's a cool thing.
Yeah, and you see that experience more of that here in this one too.
Okay, cool.
So, but overall, I really like the book. I like where it's going. I like what they're doing, the overall direction. This is still being written by Kevin Scott right now. But the overall direction for all the books has been great.
Yeah.
Even the kids' books, I've listened to some of those, and I mean, they all further, push the storyline. So
yeah,
it's pretty good.
Okay, well, I'll do my next two, and then we'll do Spider-Man together since we both read that one.
Yep.
I'll have to remember because I read it last week and I was supposed to.
Yeah. It's okay. I wasn't around books to read them.
You were at a comic convention. There were books everywhere.
Yeah, whatever.
So, Trial of Magneto number 3. We get to find out a lot more about what's going on. We still don't have a full picture.
Are you less pissed or more pissed?
It's had some time to settle.
Yeah.
So they didn't just bring her back. She comes back with no memories.
So she's
like, even to the point she doesn't know she's married to Vision. She doesn't recognize her boys. She has like no idea what's going on.
So is she a clone? Is she a remake? We don't know.
We don't know.
Because that's what it sounds like when they come back, right? When they bring people back.
They did mention that when they do a cerebral cloning, that Wanda's last backup was an old one. But they also reaffirmed that the council denied
her having it,
her being resurrected that way. So I don't think it has anything to do with the resurrection.
Okay.
These kaiju so she shows back up, and then Rachel does a scan on her.
Yeah.
And realizes that something's off.
Yeah.
And she can't remember a bunch of stuff. So then Jean comes in and activates all these memories.
Okay.
And you see there's a bunch of panels of her remembering stuff. The one that stuck out in my brain was showed where back whenever she basically did away with mutants.
No more mutants. Yeah.
And so as she's remembering this stuff, these 3 kaiju show up and start attacking Krakoa.
Yeah. Did they have to get the power sword out? Or the power zord?
No, they didn't get the Power Sword out, but because the Avengers were there, so the Avengers helped out, kicking butt, and even X Factor's still investigating Magneto.
Okay,
they're like, yeah, she might be back, but
what's up with this dude?
Yeah, so we're gonna keep investigating to see what you actually did.
Something's going on.
And then she ends up back in the Chaos Realm. I think the whole time she was in this Chaos Realm.
Okay,
and then during all this fighting, she somehow ends up back there with a cloaked figure they're both kind of talking. The cloaked figure to me looked like Moon Knight, but then you get to the very last page and take the hood off, and it's like old Lady Wanda.
Interesting.
So they're they're Lokiing Scarlet Witch. So I don't know where. At this point, I don't know where it's going to go.
Yeah.
It's at least interesting.
Yep.
There's enough going on that wasn't just
I mean, if she has memories that were unlocked, then I guess that would mean that she's not a extra clone because she had nothing.
A Wanda.
She's something
of some sort.
Yeah. I wonder if it's kind of like similar with the Death of Doctor Strange is that he creates a copy of himself that comes back at a different age.
I did notice this, that she referred to Magneto as Daddy.
Okay.
So that shows
the new version of her.
Yes, the new version. So that shows how far back her memories go. Like as far as not being able to remember stuff. So,
which is weird though, because that was before she got the memories back. She called him that. Because if she said the no more mutants, then she would have remembered, or at least remembered that.
I think it was after.
Okay.
But so she might have remembered, but she also since Jean just kind of unlocked those memories, she might not feel like they're her own yet.
Yeah.
You know. So I don't know. I do think that the overall goal might be to get her back to be a mutant.
Yeah. That's kind of why I felt the whole way, is because I feel like if Marvel and Disney can figure out a way to say mutants have just already been here and just kind of start using them,
right?
Then that's what they're going to do,
right?
So
I mean, that would make
be an easy transition for them.
That would make the most sense.
Yeah.
And I don't see them. Why would you do this whole separate story arc to not accomplish anything? You know?
It doesn't, especially when you're going to kill her and bring her back in the second issue of the. Because she came back in issue 2, right?
Yeah, that was super annoying.
Yeah. So, I mean, she was literally dead for one comic book, and then she's back. And then, of course, she's in other stuff too, but that's other stuff's kind of off topic. But the Darkhold and things like that.
This is a little bit off topic. It has to do with the book I read yesterday, which was also last week's book, X-Men number 4.
Okay.
So Death of Doctor Strange. I had the impression that it was his own contained story. It had no effect.
No, Death of Doctor Strange is affecting everything.
It is, because Nightmare shows up.
Yeah, the Darkhold is all by itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. There's so many of these little stories going on right now. I wasn't sure which ones were self-contained and which ones weren't, because I just know they acknowledged him being dead in X-Men number 4, which I...
Yeah, because even Strange Academy is turning into the Strange Academy Presents the Death of Doctor Strange. So it's kind of all kind of encompassing that for the next couple months.
Okay.
Until I guess he figures out who kills him.
He'll be back by March.
Yeah. Well, I think it's May now. We'll talk about that tomorrow. It's podcast.
Yeah.
Segue. Yeah. The Marvel just moved a whole lot of movies around.
Yeah. And so my next book was Thor 18.
Yep.
Which I have not been reading Thor. I totally picked this up because of Throg.
Yeah, I was about to say that's why you picked it up.
And it was really good.
Yeah. Was there an alligator Loki in there?
There's not an alligator Loki. But so the synopsis, I'm going to have to keep reading Thor for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, because Donny Cates is awesome.
Well, he is. But I thought Throg was only going to be in this book.
No, he's going to be in there for a few.
Yeah, he's going to be in the next several, so I'm going to have to pick him up. Basically, somebody stole Mjolnir.
Okay.
And so the book starts out with Thor trying to convince Loki to help him.
How do you steal Mjolnir unless you steal out of a place?
I don't know.
It has to be sitting somewhere you can pick up that thing and not the hammer.
Yeah, I don't know. But he's trying to get Loki, and Loki doesn't want to help. But it's not really that he doesn't want to help. It's that he says he has to put his own kingdom before Thor because he's king of Jotunheim now.
Yeah.
So then he gets to the point. He's like, Amanda says, "No alligator Loki, no dice." I'm sorry, but Throg is all that matters in this book. He's like, you got me. I'm plotting now. So he's like, you need a spy, and he starts going off on all this spy stuff that he needs, and then he shows up at Throg's house and asks him to help, and
okay. So
Throg's like, I'll help you, but I'm gonna need some help, and he assembles this whole Animal Avengers with him, Lockheed, Lockjaw, and Doctor Strange's ghost dog.
Okay.
And they're going to go. That's kind of where the book ends. He assembles this team, and they're going to go out and find Mjolnir. And it's awesome.
So I wonder where that puts Doctor Strange Ghost Dog, because he's also a Death of Doctor Strange.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm wondering now.
He's a ghost. Maybe he can be in two places at once.
She said she will fight you.
I'll fight you.
No tripping him at work. All right, so Spider-Man. So Beyond Corporation, really cool exclusive Gabriel Dell'Otto cover. In case you haven't seen it. So we start off. Peter's in the hospital.
Yeah. He was conscious at
Yep.
one point in the book, so that's a good sign.
Ben is calling Aunt May and MJ apparently, acting like he's Peter to come to the hospital.
Yeah.
So we see he's pretty messed up throughout the whole thing.
They don't know what's wrong with him.
They don't know what's wrong with
Doctors
him.
can't figure it out.
Peter knows there's something wrong with his body and needs to get out of it.
Yeah, his own body's setting off his spidey senses.
Yeah, he's convulsing every time it happens. And then we see him get the blessing from Peter to be Spider-Man.
I did like that part.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. Maybe we'll see Ben Reilly kind of more ongoing no matter what happens in this.
Well, we know he's getting his own book.
He's getting his own book, and it wasn't labeled as a miniseries, so hopefully it'll just be an ongoing series.
Kind of like Miles.
So that's really cool.
Which I have a theory behind that, which we can get into after we talk about the book itself.
I think that I liked it. It's a filler issue for sure to get you to the next part. They just kind of had to tie up a couple of ends. Really wondering what's...
I got bad vibes about the Beyond Corporation.
For sure.
I think it's bad juju.
Yeah, I think it's everything they're doing is setups. Like the whatever team he's fighting, the UFOs. I think those guys are all Beyond Corporation employees as well, or in some way, shape, or form, and they're just testing him to see how he does. So they're trying to just boost up their suit stuff and using his kind of maybe ignorance or something like that. I'm curious to see what in the crap happened to Peter, because it kind of looked like he left his body, which we know he's done before.
Yeah.
So if he did, where'd he go?
I don't know.
So that was interesting to me. So it's very intriguing. I haven't read a lot of Spider-Man books. Like I said, if you haven't,
I've read a lot of Spider-Man, but not a lot of recent Spider-Man.
and I don't think, you can pick up 75 and get going.
75, yep, that's the best place to start.
So you're only an issue back. 75, 76. If you need it, we've got exclusive covers for it up on the website. If you can't find it anywhere, if you can go find just a weekly issue, get into it. I mean, it's been really good. I'm really enjoying what they're doing with it right now. I think who we've got writing right now. Gleason's art has been awesome. I'm really loving
I've really
Zeb
enjoyed
Wells
it.
is writing right now. So it's been looks really
I
good.
think it actually is. It's going to change writers like every couple issues.
Yeah, I think
like
basically they're probably going to do a trade each. I would think that they'll do 6 books.
I don't even think they're doing that. I think it's like every other
few?
issue. Like
Wow.
they're going back and forth. I think it's just so they can pump them out faster.
Yeah, well, I know they also have the Bay, which is the like points, like 79 point. 80 point.
That might be why.
Yeah, so I think they have some different creators writing different parts of different stories. And
Okay.
that may be what we're seeing is because Ben Reilly has some other little things that he's working with that are part of the Beyond Corporation that we're going to see more kind of with Misty Moon Knight and stuff like that.
So here's my theory of what they're doing. Especially seeing that Ben Reilly's getting a possibly, for sure, a book, possibly ongoing.
Yeah.
Tom Holland had his interview where he mentioned that this is definitely the end of the trilogy.
Yeah.
And his contract with Marvel's up. He said if anything else happens regarding Spider-Man, he would expect it to have a way different tone. So, my theory is Tom Holland's going to die.
Okay.
Andrew Garfield is going to be a interdimensional Pete that takes over as Pete in the 616.
Okay.
Tobey Maguire is not Pete. He's a clone and will continue in the movies as Ben Reilly, and they'll bring in a Miles Morales in a later movie.
I mean, it's an interesting theory. I don't think any Spider-Man dies. I think the reason they keep saying it's the end of the trilogy is because it's the end of the home trilogy. I just don't think they'll use that subtitle anymore. I also think the reason Tom Holland doesn't know anything because if Tom Holland knew anything, everybody would know. So I think that's the issue too.
The big thing with him is his contract's up, and he's not slated for anything else.
But Thor's contract was up, and then he's still making Thor. I mean, there's a lot of different people that their contracts were almost up.
Yeah.
And then as that new movie came out, that's when the announcements started coming out. Okay, here's this, here's this, here's this. I mean, the fact that they're just now going to bring Venom into everything, and they're going to say Tom Holland's done. I mean, that sucks.
But here's my logic behind that is how popular Miles is. If you want to bring Miles into the movie, I feel like they're going to have to age jump Pete.
I mean, the MCU has just kind of done whatever they wanted for most of the stuff.
I mean, that's true.
I think they already introduced Miles' uncle, the Prowler. He was in the second movie.
Okay.
I think it's fine if they bring him in. He could just be a little bit younger than Tom if they wanted to use him as a younger teenager, or he could be the same age.
Yeah.
I think it's fine.
In Ultimate Universe, they were the same age.
Yeah,
or close to the same age, and Peter died.
Yeah, well, he did, but there was quite a few years there where they were both Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So I think just like what DC's doing with their universe right now, which I'm totally okay with, you have the Batfleck going on.
Everything's canon. Everything is just in a different universe.
Correct. Yeah. So I mean, it does. I mean, we as nerds, as we all are, we can take multiple storylines and deal with it. You know what I mean? We can know that this Batman movie doesn't go with that Batman movie. You know, they've been doing it with animation forever. Why can't they do it with live action?
Right.
So I mean, we have a Google, so we can go, oh, this isn't making sense. This isn't what I thought it was. Oh yeah, because it's not in order here. Fine.
Yeah.
Cool. I got it. I'm not mad. So I think that Marvel could do the same thing. They can make sure we have multiple Spider-Mans happening at the same time. There's nothing wrong with that, and make more money. Why would you kill the cash cow? So,
right.
And maybe it'll be that maybe Sony will get one Spider-Man, and Marvel will have another Spider-Man.
Man, if I were Sony, I would just let Marvel make all the movies, and I would just make the money.
Yeah, I mean that's what they're getting there. So, and it's funny because they said that little end credit scene where Venom comes into the MCU. Uh-huh. They said that took a whole lot of work. And I was like, how much work would that take? He laid into bed, the TV changed to a shot of Tom Holland on the TV that was already shot. I don't understand how much work this took.
All the work was determining who gets paid what.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. It was all the contract work in the background. Uh-huh. So, but overall, I just think that I don't see them. If they kill a Spider-Man, maybe it'll be one of the two they bring in. If Garfield comes in, although I guess he keeps saying he's not in it, but then somehow there's confirmations that he's in it. That's all confusing.
Yeah, we'll see.
So, I would think they would just make more money. You know, the more Spider-Man, the more money. It's like Batman. The more Batman, the more money. I mean,
it's by significant gaps that Spider-Man is the lead seller of Marvel and Batman's the lead seller of DC.
And overall, Spider-Man's the best seller of all of them. So. It's crazy. I think that we'll see. Probably there'll be some kind of announcement right after Spider-Man. I would think.
Yeah,
that he's got another contract, or
maybe we'll see something on Disney Plus Day.
Yeah,
which is coming up.
Yeah,
soon
that's
also.
coming up in a couple of weeks. So I just think that we're not done with that stuff yet. I don't think we're done with Tom Holland. They've used him too much, and I think if at this point. If an actor wants to keep being the character, why would you get rid of him?
Right.
You know, it's not like, Robert Downey Jr., who was just done. If he wasn't done, we'd still have Iron Man.
Right.
You know what I mean? Same thing with Captain America. If he didn't want to take a break, there'd still be Captain America movies. So,
right.
It's ultimately part of the plan to, they could have still had the Falcon figure out a way to becoming Captain America at the same time.
They do it in the comics all the time.
I think eventually at some point we'll have them both back. Mm-hmm. Whether you just have him as Nomad or if you have him as still just Steve Rogers, maybe he doesn't have a Captain America title. I just think it's okay to have multiple of those.
There's been times when both Steve and Bucky had the Captain America title in the books.
And maybe that's why they're doing this to us right now. They wanted us to get used to having two Spider-Mans and it just be normal to have two Spider-Mans. Even if they're both Parker. We know we have Miles Morales Spider-Man, but he was called Kid Arachnid for a long time, and then he became just Spider-Man.
Do you know? Are they marketing Ben's book as Spider-Man or the Scarlet Spider?
It's Ben Reilly Spider-Man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I just want RDJ to make more Sherlock. I think he is making another one right now. They are. I think they're in the process of making a third Sherlock Holmes movie, if I remember correctly, which would be awesome because yes, the first two were great. But I think that's definitely one of the things he wanted to do. So
Just do stuff other than Iron Man.
Yeah, and anything's better than that kids movie that came out. I can't remember what it was called. The one where he goes and finds the dragon, the Doctor Doolittle.
Oh yeah, that was Dr. Doolittle. I haven't seen it.
My kids thought it was hilarious, but it was just kind of weird. So
Yeah, kids do that.
Yep.
Cool.
Well,
I think that wraps it up for me.
yeah, that's our comic talk of the week. We'll be back tomorrow for our podcast.
No, we won't.
No, we won't.
Tomorrow is
We'll
we
be
got
back.
Stuff.
We'll be watching the Dune tomorrow.
We'll be streaming Friday at some point.
We'll be
doing something,
streaming
though.
Friday multiple times. We'll have our podcast, and then we'll also have our magic break. For those out there, we'll soon have more content coming to Twitch soon. I've had meetings about that today.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have more information on that soon. Sorry.
Yep.
I think B Nasty, are you crying?
No, he's waving by.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a little cry face because we weren't going to be on tomorrow.
He's giving us a thumbs up.
Okay. Yeah, so be on the lookout for that. Anything else? FOC's going to be
FOC will be up tomorrow. And be on the lookout for, we'll have a pretty good week next week, I think, too.
Yep.
So thank you guys for tuning in, and
Yep.
we will see you Friday.
Later.